Hello, 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 T. Happy good morning to you from the Blueberry Bog. I'm sitting on my wonky bench by our wonky bridge, and I just wanted to take a couple of these episodes, or whatever you want to call them, my Uncorked episodes, and talk about some of the things that we are learning as we walk through this wilderness season with God. And I just wanted to share some of the songs, that He's given to me to sing in this wilderness season that has helped, I guess, keep us moving forward with Him. So a couple years ago, in the summer of 2020, I was over on Hopigan Hill with God in the morning, just sitting and listening, and thinking about my husband. And at the time, he was in a job that was a really high-paying job, more money than we had ever made before. But every year, it was getting more and more toxic, and the jobs were getting farther and farther away. So he was getting up like at 3:30 in the morning so he could be to work by 6. And it was just really toxic for him on every level. And I remember saying, to the Lord one day, like, Lord, I'm watching my husband die in pieces. I feel like he is so weary. He is so tired. When he gets time to like sit quietly, it takes him an hour, for all of this like poison to like finally stop so he can get to the place where he can actually hear you. And Lord, I just feel like something really, really needs to change. And I know Mike feels like, we can't really afford to do anything else right now. Like, this is a really good job. He's 40. Where is he going to find another job, that's going to be able to provide for his family and all these things? But Lord, I'm telling you that he is dying. And I just pray that you would come and show us the way forward, And so I remember saying specifically to the Lord, Lord, my husband needs time with you, and he also really needs sleep. And so Mike and I started talking, like, if we could do anything, if you could do anything, babe, I asked him, what would you like to do? You know what I mean? And so he just kind of started thinking and dreaming with God and everything. And long story short, through like some dreams that God gave him and, through our time in the Word and different things, we felt like God was inviting us to jump with him, right? To quit this really high paying job, to start over again at a job, a new career, making minimum wage and everything. And so that we could build with him. And it's really strange because always before in the past, we felt like we knew exactly what God was inviting us to, like we knew where we were going with God. But this time we felt like, Lord, all we feel like we have are these desires that you've put in our heart to somehow partner with you, to make this land a place of rescue, refuge, and healing for trafficked children, or, for the orphans of, like we call them, the lost boys and girls, of our generation. And Lord, we don't know what that looks like. But, we look at our, this decision in the natural, Mike quitting his job and starting over again at a minimum wage job, like, we cannot afford to do this in a natural. We cannot afford to do this. But Lord, in the spiritual, we cannot afford to not do this. And so we decided to jump with God. And, sometimes we say yes to God, right, to these things He's putting in our hearts or whatever, these invitations we feel like He's extending us. And, we think that we're like going to get to the promised land or whatever quickly. You know what I mean? But we find ourselves thrown into this wilderness. And we had quite a lot of savings set aside and everything. And so we're like, Lord, between the minimum wage and the savings, we're just going to see where you take us. And, we imagined that by the time the savings ran out, we would like be making more money and, everything like this. So we started out full of hope and joy and expectation and excitement. But, as the savings goes, right? And things get tighter and tighter and tighter. And then, like we start having all these health problems, and then we start having all these appliance problems. And then like every vehicle that we own is suddenly broken down and costs a lot of money that we don't have to repair. You just start to think like, what in the heck is going on? Lord, like, we thought that you were inviting us to build with you. And, all it seems like it's like been thing after thing after thing. And, I know that our struggles, or whatever you want to call them, are nothing compared to like the people in war-torn countries and people that are truly impoverished and all these things. But, it's our story. And so, we feel like, what is going on, Lord? Did we totally miss you? Did we totally get this wrong? Like, is this just another one of our like ridiculous ideas that is going to fall flat and never turn into anything, and so then this soul crushing loneliness comes, and it's just Lord, we long for a mother and father in the faith to come alongside of us, and show us the way forward with you. But the time goes on and there's still no mother and there's still no father, and sometimes it feels like there's not really even any brothers and sisters that are walking with God this way, and so it just gets really lonely, and you try to share, some of your burden and some of your journey and some of your questions and struggles with people, and they look like you've grown two heads. It doesn't make sense to them because it doesn't make sense in the natural, and so I remember in one of these just really hard times, talking to Mike, and it's like, God, we don't know where we're going. We don't know what we're doing. It feels like, you've sort of abandoned us here, and it feels like any encouragement that we had was a really long time ago. But Lord, we don't know what else to do. And so we're just going to keep holding on to you and trust that you've got us, even though everything around us is telling us that we're going to die in this desert, you understand how the Israelites felt, on some level. And so I remember in one of these dark times, you know what I mean, when our faith was in the toilet, we feel like we go up and down, we feel like we've never been this emotionally unstable before. Some days we're full of faith, and other days we're leaky of faith, and our faith is in the toilet. And sometimes those dark times feel a lot longer than the light times and the hopeful times. And you just feel the longer the hope is deferred, the heavier your heart gets. And so I remember in one of these times, I was just sitting wearily with the Lord, and asking him just to come for me and to encourage me. Lord, we don't want to quit on you. We don't want to turn our back on you. We don't want to throw the towel in, but we're weary, God, and our hearts are sort of breaking. And I just remember he put this picture in my mind of this dark, dark valley. And, he was on a horse and I was in front of him on the horse, and we were walking up the mountain towards the sky that's barely starting to lighten in the distance, the dawn, and I feel the Lord was just saying to me through that picture, I have you in this valley. You know what I mean? I have you in this valley. I'm with you in this valley. And sort of out of that picture that he put in my song, or in my mind, came this song, and it's called The Valley of Night, and I just wanted to share it with you. It goes, this pathway's full of pain. I've never been here before. The sky keeps pouring rain. Don't think I can take much more. The light of day has gone over that last hill. I wonder when the morning dawns, will I be here still? But come what may, in this valley of night, good God, don't let me stray or give up without a fight. So as these shadows lengthen, I bind my heart to yours again. Though the dark may strengthen, it will never take me from your hand. So when it doesn't make sense and I can't see just where in hell you're leading me, I'll lock eyes with you. When my faith seems gone and I'm on my knees, please pick me up and carry me. I will cling to you, Jesus, I will cling to you, and you'll cling tight to me, and that's what gives me peace. So if you find yourself walking through the wilderness today, I just want to leave you with a verse that I have above my toilet in the bathroom. And it's Hebrews 4:14 in the New Living Translation. And it says, let us cling to him and never stop trusting him. And I just pray that today the Lord strengthens your heart to cling to him again, and you sense that he is clinging to you. I hope that you have a really blessed day. Take care. Toodaloo.